Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the AVS show, and you're watching me on the TV. My name is Charlie Dior.
Yazzie.
Glitterati.
And the Manny Man.
Yes, and if this is your first time watching us, too late, but welcome. And subscribe to our channel. After the show, go on Instagram. You have Instagram, right? Yeah. Follow us at the AVS show, and you can also follow us too. Our names are right there. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, how are you guys feeling today?
Great. You look nice, Charlie.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like the glasses.
I'm serving you executive realness.
Okay, I like it.
All right. All right, so we're going to talk about a very important topic today, and it's about jungle justice. Okay, because I came across this article, this news actually, a suspected thief in Nigeria escaped jungle justice because the policeman rescued him from being burnt alive. Wow. This is really, really serious, and it's really happening. Oh yes, it's really happening in our countries in Africa. Okay, so I wanted us to talk about it. They suspected that he stole something. We don't know what it is.
Hold on a second. First, let's tell our viewers what is jungle justice, because some people might not even know what it is.
Okay, so let me drop the news,
Okay.
and then we could do that,
Okay.
all right? So they suspected him that he stole something. They put the ties around him, gas all over. They were ready to just to burn him up. And then the police, thank God, right? Thank God, somebody's prayer was working that day. He was saved from it. So I wanted us to talk about jungle justice today because it was a form of jungle justice. So yeah, so anybody want to talk about what jungle justice is? And
Yeah, jungle justice is a kind of non-judicial killing that happens in sub-Saharan Africa, mostly in Nigeria and Cameroon. And what it entails is the people of a particular community take laws into their hands because they feel they're not protected by the police and the justice system. So what they do is when they see a robber or a thief, they mob the person, lit the person up. There are different ways to do it, either through passing the person through muddy bats and then beat the person aggressively, or this is called the necklace method, where they put a tire on you.
oh, they have terms and everything for it.
Yes,
Yeah. So
and
the
then they
necklace-
burn you down completely before the authorities even come.
And with the women, they also take broken pieces of glass sometimes, and then they insert it inside their vagina when it's a woman. And literally, all someone has to do is yell like thief or armed robber, and like a whole mob of people just come. And it's been going on for years and years. But in Nigeria in 1999, they actually legalized a group called Bakassi Boys. They got legalized to like legally kind of do these things, because at that time it was kind of positive because they were protecting their area from like gang members and stuff. But then because of a big incident with the 4 college kids, what were they called? I think they were called Agu Boys or something.
No, it's Alu. There's a place called Alu in Rivers State, just a little bit after the University of Port Harcourt. Actually, those boys, they were students in the University of Port Harcourt, 4 innocent boys in 2012. What happened was they were going to collect the money from a debtor, somebody who was owing them after school hours, and then that person screamed that they are trying to kill him, or they are thieves, so oleo. And the next thing, the whole community gathered, and they didn't even let those boys speak. They didn't let them express themselves. They didn't let them do anything. They kept beating them and torturing them. And you know, there's power in
They used the necklace
strength.
method.
So they used the necklace method to burn them alive. One of the boys, the sister, actually was around when it happened, so she was trying her best to stop and everything. Nobody would listen to her. They even threatened to kill her as well. That was when she recorded the killing, and then she put it out on social media. Then it was Facebook. So that was when the whole country realized that this thing is really still happening because jungle justice is not legal. It's not accepted.
Listen, I can understand the fact that people, like a group of people, want to come together and protect their neighborhood. I like that idea. I love it. But to go to the extreme of killing the next person. If you want to protect your neighborhood, all right, let's watch. If we see a thief or a criminal or murder, let's call the police. Let's, make sure that this doesn't happen, because this right here, it's heartless. How do you live with yourself? Burning your, another person. Do you go home and then continue your day like it's normal? I think this is ridiculous. This needs to stop. I don't even know why they even legalized it at the first place.
It was only legalized for
I was gonna say,
2
when I
years.
was in Nigeria, when I was growing up, I remember waking up one morning and my mom was walking up Yaba, and I saw a man's burnt body on the street. It's the most traumatic thing. The man was burnt on top of like the tire, like just stuck to it, and I would never get that picture out of my head because literally, there was a lot of robberies going on around that time. I understand that with robberies and everything, but before you take matters into your own hands, let's actually do, if we're going to be jungle justice, then we need to have a jungle court. Let's have a jury, lawyer, and then we can really decipher and see, is this person telling the truth? Is this person lying? Not it just being you, let's just take it upon ourselves, because anybody can call somebody a thief. Anybody can call somebody a rapist. Anybody can call somebody different things. So that to me is where it's disturbing. And the fact that it's still going on today and all over Africa, it's ridiculous. Because even when somebody's cheating sometimes, I've seen that happen. You cheat on your husband, they'll do that. They'll do something to you.
I saw that on Instagram.
They'll put the lovers together. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand that mentality.
What happens if they kill the wrong person?
That's
Do
what happened
the
to
whole
those
neighborhood
four
go to
boys.
jail for
But
that?
do you remember that this happened 2017 in Ghana
It did.
with the whole military? Like, he was like what in America would be like a surgeon. He was a whole surgeon, and they had sent him out to a particular village, like a whole group of them to a village, because there was so much bad things going on there that they brought them there to protect the people of the village. And unfortunately, there was like an armed robbery or something, and the guy was walking in his plain clothes. His name was Mahama.
And he had a gun.
And he had a gun, and somebody yelled that he was the robber, and they killed him. Like, it became so big in Ghana because he was a great military man, and I think he was related to the ex-president or something like that. So I think when that issue happened, I think they did arrest certain people in Ghana for that issue because of who he was. But what if you weren't a nobody and you were falsely accused and you get killed?
Actually, funny enough, the recorded ones that are on the stats, 80% of them are innocent people. The guy you talked about just now, the 4 kids in Uniport, there was another guy that was killed in Lagos. He was even in the Ministry of Works and Transport. Wow. He was assistant to a commissioner, and he was killed because of mistaken identity. So the problem now is, why did the people taking upon themselves to start taking laws into their hands and protect their community? That means there's a problem with the justice system, because the people say they are frustrated that sometimes when robbers are caught, the justice system don't try them. They don't show up on time. The police don't show up on time. The robbers get away with everything. So the problem is the justice system has to be fixed.
But then the people have to organize and do that. Like, even here in America, Indians, when Native Americans do crimes, they have a Native American court. So they don't ever go through the regular court system. They have their own court system, their own things going on. So the chiefs of the villages should be the one. Somebody's been accused of robbery. Bring him to the chiefs, and we ask those questions.
Everything.
Because literally you're making assumptions. This is assumption based, and you are killing people, and it's ridiculous. And it's so barbaric. It's like, wow.
And whatever happens to innocent until proven guilty? Because with this news, he was suspected, right? So we think, he might be the thief. And it's very dangerous because it only takes you being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You could be dead, right? Because I know there was a story of this thief, right? They were yelling, thief, 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 and he was yelling, thief, thief, thief to another person. So the other person got killed and he wasn't. Wow. So it only takes you being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like that little boy in the Bronx. That's jungle justice.
That could be jungle justice.
What happened to that little boy in the
You
Bronx?
guys remember Junior? We spoke about him?
Yeah, Justice for Junior.
That was jungle justice, and he was the wrong person. And nobody else. People just, like, to me, what's more barbaric than the people that are standing around watching somebody get murdered?
You can't really blame them, because once you try to help.
This is my opinion, though, that it's something that this is disturbing, that people, I think they also should go to jail, because you're sitting there watching somebody murdered, you're getting something out of it. There's some people, like when people were being in slavery, it happened. They'll take black people, lynch them, do all of this, and people just sit, and it'll be like a Sunday outing.
Like entertainment.
Well, there's nothing that you can do, because if I'm President Jungle Justice, first of all, I'm walking away. I could never witness anything like that. I wouldn't stay there for it. But if you try to help, you get killed as well.
No, so you can call for help.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. You could leave and you could call for help, like in the cases of Junior, where there were some nurses that called 911 and stuff like that. But there's nothing that you can you can't I'm one person. You can't go against the 50. Sometimes it's like 50 people against one person, 20 people against one person. There's nothing that you can really do. But as T Money said, it all goes back on the government. But I think education also has a lot to do with it. Because when you look around, these things are not happening in like places where people are educated. It's happening in the market.
She just said it happened here. We just call it a different name.
Sometimes, no matter how much
but we're
you teach
talking about it
people-
in Africa. We're talking about it in Africa.
But you said education. When it comes to education, it's just common sense and it's human. It's
No, but education has a lot to do. But let me
compassion.
finish. I let you finish. You didn't let me finish. It's about education because these things are happening in Africa. It's happening in villages, in rural areas, in places where people are not educated, people are not exposed, people are not enlightened. They're used to the old school ways of doing things because in the old school days, things like this where it was okay, it was normal because they didn't know any better. And that's why it's happening. This is not happening at a Accra Mall. It's not happening in cantonments. It's not happening in Lebanon. It's not even happening in a market like Makola. It's happening in deep market.
Happening.
I went to.
They probably are not burning those people, but they're embarrassing them. They're putting marks
But it
on them.
almost happened to me in the market in Ghana.
So it's
personally.
happening.
Yeah, so that's why I said that it's happening in like markets, in places where people are not enlightened, places where some of them have never even been outside of their town. Some of them have never even been to the major cities because they don't know any better. So I think that if we were to educate these people, enlighten them, and give them more exposure, they would understand that this is wrong. Because in
Education
their
will
eyes,
help.
it's
Education
not
will
wrong.
help, but education is not the
Education will
solution.
help.
I'm not talking about book education.
No, I
you know,
understand.
there's different
I
levels
think
of
education will help. There are also a lot of group thinkers in Africa, right? Let's go. Everybody, let's go and kill
that
this
has nothing to do
person.
with education.
You know what I mean? So yes, we need to educate these people. Also, laws needs to be in place. The government should stand up. If we see you doing this is what's going to happen to you. Even if you are around, even if I smell you, this is going to happen to you. And I think that will help as well.
It almost happened to me in the market in Ghana.
Talk about
I
it.
went
How-
to yeah.
what
Did you steal something?
No. I was in the market. Like I go to the market a lot when I go to Ghana. I love going to the market. I just love it. So I went there bright and early in the morning with my friend Benny, and my hands kept getting sticky. Every time I'm in Ghana, my hands get sticky a lot. So I bought like the sachet water, and then I started washing my hands with the sachet water. Then some lady just started screaming at me for washing my hands with the sachet water. Like I did nothing.
What was
because
she
they
saying?
drink the water.
They drink the water.
So you can't
the
wash
fact
your hand
that
with it.
I was like in the middle of the market washing my hands with the sachet water that they drink, she was upset. So when she started yelling at me, I was right in front of like a fabric place. Then some of the water splashed on the fabric place, and then they started yelling at me too. So me with my American ass, I started arguing with them, and my friend Benny just grabbed me and was like, "Yazzie, run." She was like, yo, these people will beat you up. She's like, yo, Yazzie, we gotta go. Stop this. You're in the market. Like, you can't go back and forth with these people. They will beat you and they will beat you to death. And by this time, like, a group was forming around, and then me and her just bolted off.
Yeah, that's the group thinking he's talking about because it has nothing to do with education. Like what he
Mob
said.
mentality.
It is education because she's upset that in her eyes, I'm wasting drinking water. That's what caused the whole thing. If she was enlightened enough to know that she shouldn't even be drinking that water because that water is not the safest water to drink.
It's crazy because I've been in Ghana and I've seen people wash their hands with the water when they're about to eat fufu or eat banku. So I don't understand why they even.
I forgot which market it was,
True, though,
but it was
because
it
the
was
same
because I
water,
was in the
even the
market.
I've seen
same
people
sachet
wash
water
their
you
hands
drink,
with
you wash your
your
hand with.
Yeah, but
and
what
you
kind of
drink it.
people did you see?
but I'm just saying
People
that it's
in major
crazy that she was
cities.
that her
ignorant.
mentality.
Yeah, but the issue is this jungle justice thing. There has to be laws against it.
I said it.
Serious laws that will put everybody around that place in the book.
Hold them accountable.
They should be held
Because when
accountable.
that thing happened to the soldier man that we're talking about, the
Yes.
Mahama guy, the president.
Yeah, people
What
got
they
arrested. They were on it.
And
Because
since then, I haven't really heard anything like that in Ghana because they set the law straight. If
Because
we
he was
see
he was a great military man.
Yeah.
He was an amazing, like, he had done so much. So it became a very, very, very big deal in Ghana for that. It
it
wasn't a
happens
joke.
here too. I mean, they're not burning us with tires, but they're shooting us.
So
right?
I was going to say, what could that man have stolen that is not as much as our politicians are stealing
There was
from us?
there was an article that I read.
You know what I'm saying? How did he steal
That's
a
A
little
man
a
stole
little
Gary,
mango?
Gary, that was burned.
Can you believe that?
Grain of
Just-
Gary. A kid,
and
not a
knowing-
man. A kid stole
like,
Gary
that
and the
is
kid
like
was
7-year-old
killed.
boy was
for
killed
stealing
for
Gary.
stealing Gary in
And-
the market
but
in
how?
Nigeria.
But speaking about that and speaking about education, things like this also put fear in me though. So maybe that's what they were trying to achieve. Now, if I see this, I'm not stealing anything. I don't care if it's Gary or air. I'm not stealing it because I don't want to end up like this. So I think
No,
I think that's what they're
there's the
trying
positive
to
side
do
of
though.
it.
Yeah.
it keeps this, it sanitizes that society because they said when the Bakassi boys were really active in 1999-2000 that there was sanity in Abia State. There were no robberies, no kidnapping, no stealings. Those boys were hot. But the thing is,
Probably felt like heaven.
Yeah, but under what law? The government didn't give them the authority. It was legalized for only 2 years. So then it was banned in 2001 because people became scared for themselves. Because at the end of the day, you don't even know who you're killing. If the person is innocent or true, I might have a beef with you because I like the girl you are with, and I might just tell Bakassi that you stole my car, and they'll go kill you. So where's the verification? You know that it wasn't really safe. That's why I decided to ban it.
The problem is laws need to be made, and one thing that I think that we definitely need in Africa is some sort of way to track us. You see how in America we have social security numbers, right?
Not in this lifetime.
You can, like, I can't commit a crime in America and get away with it because ever since I have been in this country, I've been tracked. My school, my addresses, like you Google people and it comes up. I could Google him right now, all those things come up. You can't, in Africa, we don't have those things. You understand what I'm
my
saying?
name will come up.
Like,
will come up.
Like in Africa, we don't have these things. So people feel like, again, they want to put fear in people, but they also feel like that thief can't get away because if he leaves right now, we're never ever going to catch him again. We're never going to see him again.
Then hand him over to the cops. Hand him over to the police.
Oh, but if you have money now, what happens? If you have money, you hand me over to the court, to the police, and if I have money, I'll bail myself out, right? I could bail myself out of to freedom, basically. Because if you have money, let's be real. If you have money in Africa, you could do anything. You could get away with a lot of things.
But that's why.
But jungle justice is not a solution.
That's why jungle justice is not a solution. But that's why I think that this social security
Some
number,
of
which
these politicians need that.
Ghana has started the social security number thing. I think that it's very important because it's a way that you track someone everywhere the person goes, whether it's a school, work, wherever the person is going. You track the person. In Ghana now, everywhere has an address. All the streets are named. Like it wasn't like first time I went to Ghana.
Not where I was born, Father man, we are still struggling.
When I went to Ghana in 2014, they didn't have that. But now, when I go, I see like literally every house has an address. And I think Ghana, I can't speak for other African countries, but I think Ghana is able to work on that. So then you know, like, okay, that kid that lives here.
You know I love Ghana too, but can we at least start with IDs? Right?
I think so.
But Ghana does have an ID. What are you talking about?
IDs,
I have a Ghana ID. I have a Ghana driver's license, a voter registration card. It's very hard to get. You go through a whole annoying process to get it. You got to sit there all day and stuff like that. But they have it. You can also use your insurance card.
People are buying it. Okay.
You can also get an insurance card. Your insurance. I have that too. That serves as ID in Ghana. Again, I sat in the office all day before I got it. But they have.
I think on the
simplistic
part, because we're not going to get social securities right now. Let's go right
Ghana
back.
has it. Can't speak for other countries.
Let's go back to that and just sit down with the chiefs and the council of the villages and create little court systems within those villages, within those little towns, and start to bring, if somebody's caught stealing, somebody's caught raping, we're going to go through a court, and if worse comes to worse, it turns out you really did do it, then you know what? All bets are off the table.
Justice.
But let's have a judicial process out here. Because it's not fair that somebody is just picked up. And sometimes some crimes should not, if you're stealing Gary, they're going to burn you? No. Gary?
Really?
Well, your parents realize Gary's nothing to you, but to the woman who has worked hard, got the cassava, sat there all day doing the Gary thing, like then just selling one CD of Gary is like
put the person in servitude
$100 to her.
He can work for her for 2 weeks or a month to make up for what he stole.
Yeah.
There's different ways to go about thinking about justice. Like I think that it's like I said, education in some part, but just sitting. You don't have to change people's whole livelihood and think, because I really don't believe it. That social security number scares the hell out of me anyway, because they do track every little bit of you.
Yes.
Literally, and they know that you're black. They know that you're this. They
we
know
need
that
to
you're
check.
that.
They're probably putting tracking devices under us.
My social security number, my mom's social security number, my sister's social security number, my son's social security number are all correlated. Yep. Like even though it's all different numbers, when you look at the last four, all of us, our last four are very similar. So I'm sure, like as you're saying, they're able to do it.
To do it.
But Caleb was born here, and he still has that, and his is still linked.
His mom is Ghanaian.
Yes.
His mom is Ghanaian.
So it's still linked to it.
But just like you said, we are all tracked. Everybody's tracked in this country.
Yeah, but it needs to be done in Africa too.
Privacy.
Without that in Africa, there's no security. Like and that's how I feel when I'm in Ghana. When I'm in Ghana, I don't feel. Not that I feel like someone will hurt me, but I feel like there's no security. If I'm doing business with someone, like there's no guarantee that I'm gonna see him an hour from now. There's no guarantee I'm gonna see him tomorrow because there's no type of tracking. I mean, in major cities in Ghana now, like I know for a fact, Accra, Takoradi, they're giving social security numbers out and addresses out. I can't speak for all of Ghana, but those 2 major cities, I've seen it for myself. So it's very important. We need it. We need some sort of form of tracking.
Isn't murder a crime? I'm just saying. So
Yes.
the people that are burning these people needs to go to jail as well.
Agreed.
And that's
Jail.
all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Let us know in the
Do not
comments.
pass go.
Do you believe in
Agreed.
jungle justice? Because some people actually do believe in it. So let me ask them.
Yeah.
Do you believe in jungle justice or no? Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this topic. Until next time, we love you for watching, and you're watching the ABS show. This is Mina TV. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.